The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are just 10 days away from the NFL draft, and apparently the Jets are showing strong interest in a top defensive player. We'll talk about that and more. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
Number one, we play with maximum effort. There's three elements of effort. Got burst, speed, and finish. If I don't see one of those, man, you're a traitor. Go play for somebody else. Win, lose, or draw. The one thing you're going to say about our defense, using the fight. That's an ass kicker.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Brees Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, here on a Monday. I hope everybody is having a fantastic week so far. You had a good weekend. We are just 10 days away from the NFL draft. And guess what? We still do have tickets left for our draft party, but go quick because after an email blast I sent out this morning, I'm not sure if we'll have that many more left. Join me, Fireman Ed, and your fellow Asmaniacs at Clinton Hall 36. That's 16 West 36th Street in New York City. Just 10 days from today. What will the Jets do at pick 7? We will all find out together. Plus, we're giving away some awesome raffle prizes that night. Your ticket includes a complimentary beer, wine, or seltzer. And it's just going to be a great time. If you've never been to a live event of mine, please come out and have some fun with your fellow Jake Asman Show listeners. With that said, let's now talk about the state of the Jets. And the state is this. With 10 days to go, apparently, we got to start considering a new prospect that is being taken, I think, a lot more seriously by those around the Jets than maybe those in the fan base. And what I mean by that is we talked in January about Mason Graham, the defensive lineman from Michigan, being the guy that could make a lot of sense for the Jets. And then it feels like, based on how the free agent period went, based on the lack of really replacing Morgan Moses to this point at right tackle, the lack of any real weapon you could trust besides Garrett Wilson on this team, it feels like the conversation shifted to, well, it's either going to be Tyler Warren or an offensive lineman. But the question is, what if Graham, who, based on most people's evaluation, is a top 5 player in this class, what if he's there at 7? Would the Jets not take him just because they have other needs on offense? Or would they truly just say he's the best player on the board? Defensive line, to us, is still a need. We want to put someone next to Quinnen Williams, and we think this guy could do it. Would they take him? That's a question we got to really start considering because there's a chance he's there. And then you have this morning from Ian Rappaport. Mason Graham visiting with the Jets tomorrow. So the Jets are using one of their top 30 visits on a guy. And according to Ian, the Jets already had a formal interview with him at the Combine. They took him out to dinner the night before his pro day. And now you have this visit tomorrow. So if you watched my show that we did on Friday with Dom C, or not Dom C, excuse me, with Joe Blewett. Joe Blewett's film review with Mason Graham gave you the pros and the cons. The question, I think, with Graham is not, is he a really good player? He is. It's, how does he fit next to Quinnen Williams? What type of defense would the Jets deploy with Quinnen and Graham up the middle? Are they in a 3-4? Are they a 4-3? Are they multiple? How do you get both guys on the field? Because if you're going to use a, in this case, top 7 pick on a guy, you best believe Mason Graham better be on the field a lot next to Quinnen Williams. None of this, defensive line rotations, hockey line style that we were accustomed to seeing with the previous coaching staff with Robert Saleh and company. If you're taking a defensive lineman when you have this many needs, and I get it, Graham's awesome, but you have this many needs, this guy better be a game wrecker, right? He better be on the field right away. So I think Graham's in play for the Jets. Now, the reason why I think a lot of us haven't spent a ton of time talking about him is because I think it's been widely assumed, well, he won't be there at 7 for the Jets. Someone in front of the Jets is going to take him. But are we sure? It seems like there's a lot of love now for a different defensive player going before maybe Mason Graham. And that would set the stage for Graham to be there for the Jets. That player I'm talking about is Jalen Walker, the pass rusher from Georgia. Say he goes 5 to Jacksonville. I don't know if the Raiders would take Graham at 6. And then all of a sudden he could be there at 7 for the Jets. Now, it's still probably likely Graham goes 5 to the Jaguars, but we don't know for sure. There's always a surprise or two. You just don't know when it's going to be. I think we have a pretty good feeling. Number 1's going to be Cam Ward. Number 2 or 3 in whatever combination is going to be Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. 4, it feels like New England's definitely taking an offensive lineman. It feels like it's Will Campbell, but can't rule out Armand Membu. We can't. Jacksonville at 5 is really such a fascinating pick for the Jets. Because if they take Walker, which some have speculated they might, Graham might be there at 7 for the Jets. And then you got to decide, are you taking Mason Graham over Armand Membu? Are you taking Mason Graham over Tyler Warren? I think there's a chance all 3 of those players are on the board at 7. And if that's the case, the question I have is, what do the Jets do? If it's BPA, it's probably Graham. Because I'd imagine the Jets would think Mason Graham, like many, is a top 5 player in this draft class. Maybe they feel the same way about Warren. Maybe they feel the same way about Membu. I don't know. But I just feel like, knowing what we know about Aaron Glenn, how he's talked about players, it feels like Graham's his type of player. Now, so is Armand Membu and so is Tyler Warren, but that's the question you have. Like, the Jets, are they going BPA? Do they think Graham could be a fit with Quinnen? Maybe Graham's the highest player on their board, but maybe they look at it like, while we like Graham, the way we're going to play defense, we think it's not the best fit, so let's take a different player that we also have a very high grade on. Like, these are what GMs and coaches are deciding in these meeting rooms. Like, every team says BPA, best player available, but you don't always do best player available. You don't. Best player available, if you're a Jet fan, gets you Jamal Adams and Marcus May as your first and second round picks in the same draft. 2 safeties. Like, that's not smart team building. I don't care if Jamal Adams and Marcus May were the best players on Mike McCagnon's draft board. That's not smart. You can't take 2 safeties. BPA is not always the right route to building a football team. It's a part of the evaluation. It is not the evaluation. Understand? So what would the Jets do if Graham, Warren, Membu, all 3 on the board? Now, the other scenario worth bringing up here, if all 3 are on the board, is anyone coming up for Mason Graham? Right? If he's so highly regarded, someone might want him. Maybe he's not a fit for the Jets, but could they find someone he is a fit for? Could the Jets actually move back a little bit and get something for that number 7 pick if Graham is there? You know, we've talked about, hey, if Shedeur Sanders is there, what if Graham is there? San Fran really needs a defensive tackle. Could the Niners and the Jets do business? Would San Fran go from 11 to 7? It's not a ton they'd have to give up. You'd have to give up something, but we're not talking about like future ones. I mean, the Niners have so many picks. Anyone pay attention to how many picks the Niners have because of all the comp picks they received? They have 1, 2, 3, 4 picks in the top 100. They also have 2 fourth-round picks at pick 113 and 138. They have a 5th-round pick, 2 of them. If the Niners wanted to come up and they offered you pick 75 and one of their forts in exchange for the Jets to say moving back from 7 to 11 and they throw in like one of their 5ths for whatever trade chart formula they're going by to make it even, I would do that. If you're a Jet fan, would you move from 7 to 11? I would. Niners need a Mason Graham. So, like, that to me is another scenario here, too. What if you can get someone to come up and trade? Because I still really hope that while we've talked so much for months about pick 7, we end up talking about a different pick number by the time we get to our draft party on April 24th. Because I hope the Jets move back. They don't need to move back far, and I don't know if you necessarily want to go back too far in this draft because there's very few quote-unquote blue-chip players. And Graham feels like he's one of those guys, but he might not fit what the Jets are doing defensively. So take advantage of that. You have Quinnen Williams. You already have some other really good players in this defense. Get extra picks and then still bolster your offense. Like the Jet defense automatically is going to be better in 2025. It can't be worse. It can't be worse when you've improved the coaching the way they have. You're going to get Jermaine Johnson back. Another year of McDonald. Sauce, I think, will still be Sauce. You brought back Sherwood. You have Quincy. Like, there's too much talent for them to suck. Maybe they're not the best defense in the league, but they can't be worse than they were last year post Robert Saleh being fired. Like, there's just no way the defense will be worse. Maybe they're not going to be as good as they were in 2023. DJ Reed's not on this team now. You know, Brandon Stevens, to me, until proven otherwise, is a major question mark as corner two. But to me, if you can't figure it out with a defensive coach and someone that we all think is a pretty good DC in Steve Wilkes, like, come on. To me, this pick needs to be on offense. So while Mason Graham, I acknowledge the talent, I don't want him at 7. I'd rather trade out of that. Or if it's up to me and I'm faced with Graham, Warren, and Membu, I'm either taking Warren or Membu over Graham. And that might not be what BPA tells me to do, right? Best player available. Got to take that guy. Well, best player available is only once again part of your evaluation. If I was a GM, I'm not going to take a punter, even if the guy's a generational punter in the first round. But Jake, BPA, you don't take kickers in the first round unless you're Al Davis. Right? Like, you have to obviously evaluate the best players, but also how do they fit your team? How do they fit the roster construction you're trying to build? Because then the salary cap comes into play too, right? You don't want to take a safety necessarily in the top 6, because then when it comes time to pay the safety, you don't want to pay him. This is a non-premium position. It's the same thing with running backs. Now, tight ends, there's an argument for that too. I understand that, but I think this draft is unique in that the Jets don't have enough weapons right now. It's not a great receiver class as far as using one in the top 7. So you could argue Warren is your best, quote, weapon pick. To me, if there was a wide receiver equivalent of Tyler Warren, that would be the pick for me. Put that guy next to Garrett Wilson and help Justin Fields. But Warren could help you next to Justin Fields. Warren could help you in the running game. He's a football player. I like Warren a lot. That, to me, is what's unique about this year's draft. But they're going to be faced with a fascinating decision if he is there, Mason Graham at 7. And clearly the Jets like him. All right, I could tell you, you don't bring a guy in for a top 30 visit if you're not seriously interested in taking him at 7. Right? Especially if you already met with the guy at the combine. You already had dinner with him before his pro day. So you got him in a one-on-one intimate environment in 2 separate opportunities already. And now you're going to fly him out to your facility. That tells you a lot. This was the scouting report from Todd McShay on Mason Graham. And I encourage everyone to go back and watch Friday morning's first show when we did a great film breakdown with Joe Blowett and we covered Graham. The comp that he has for Graham, this is Todd McShay's scouting report, is Quinnen Williams. That's why I questioned, could they play together? Now, some think they can. Some think, hey, you just put them up there and boom, go out there and dominate. And they might do that. And if they do that, this defense better be like top 5 in the league again, because that's a lot of investments again on the defense. When your offense doesn't have a right tackle, has no reliable wide receivers besides Garrett Wilson. And by the way, we like the offensive line. 4 of the 5 starters are in place. But part of the argument I think you say is you take Membu is, well, John Simpson and ABT are in the final year of their deals. So if you got to replace your 2 starting guards next year, at least one of them, at least have your bookend right tackles in place. That'd be the argument. You got Olu under contract for several more years on a rookie deal. And obviously, if you take Membu at 7, you got your right tackle on a rookie deal for 5 years at cost control. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Let me know your thoughts. Would you take Graham over the other 2 players I mentioned if they're there at 7? Now, here's the comp. We mentioned it. Quinnen Williams. McShay writes, Graham is a game wrecker who looks unblockable on tape for long stretches of games. Yes, he has shorter arms and might not look the part of a top 5 pick, but his tape should make defensive line coaches across the country cry tears of joy. He's the Picasso of ferocity, hand-to-hand combat, leverage, ball location, and fierce finishes. An absolute thing of beauty. Top traits, ferocity. Now, that's a word I'd like to start using more on this show. Charles Gorman's farts have such ferocity. Fires off the snap, gets into offensive linemen's pads, locates the ball while stacking, and then disengages. Plus, I almost never see this dude on the ground. Leverage. When he's asked to drop his anchor, his size and strength make it tough to move him off the ball. He can occupy double teams without giving up much ground. Instincts. He pushes the pocket, tracks the quarterback, and gets off blocks late. He has an uncanny awareness of where the football is. He sounds like an Aaron Gunn player. The question is he more of a player than the other obvious picks that have been connected to the Jets? Warren and Armand Membu. Your comments, your questions, your super chats, cut the line, RSVP to our first ever draft watch party with special guest Fireman Ed. To do so, the link is in the description, and I have blasted it all around social media. So click the link in my bio on Instagram at Jake Asman, at Jake Asman Show, or on Twitter at Jake Asman. Let me say this as well. The Asmaniac raffle was supposed to be this morning. It's now going to be moved to this afternoon. I didn't have time to compile the full list. Damn tax season got the best of me the last couple days. Not easy being a content creator having to do taxes, by the way. I don't recommend it. But anyway, raffle will be this afternoon. So for another show here, let's do something nice for the people. Let's give a membership boost. If you gift 10 memberships, you're in the raffle today for 12. If you gift 5 memberships, you're in the raffle for 7. $10 super chat will count as 2. And today, in honor of Nate, parentheses Nate, a $20 super chat. The first person to do it only will get 8 memberships gifted for those who caught the show the other day. Curtis Martin signed helmet, our other prize. Joe Klecko signed football, our third place prize. And our fourth place prize is a Wayne Corbett signed football. So 4 prizes: Corbett football, Klecko football, Martin helmet, Joe Willie Namath Super Bowl III signed helmet with display case, our top prize in this afternoon's Asmaniac raffle. T-Town Jet has gifted 1 channel membership. T-Town, thank you very much for your support of the show. The following listener received the membership. Jorge received it. So congrats to Jorge. Ladies and gentlemen, done. Taps any button in the raffle for 8. I'm a man of my word. You can thank Nate, parentheses Nate, for that. All right, Gusbuster hotline's open. Your thoughts on this? Jets doing a lot of work, apparently, on Mason Graham. Let's say hello first up today to the great Jets Johnny, who's going to start us off here on the program. Johnny, what do you got for us? Not much. Oh, he's there.
Yo, my bad. I'm here. I was running outside. Not too much. How you doing today, Jake?
What's up, Johnny?
Not much, man. Cleaning out the car. I'm going to the Rangers game tonight, the Panthers Rangers.
Uh-oh, did we lose you?
No, can you hear me?
Now we can, John. We lost you. You said you're going to the Panthers Rangers game tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to the Panthers Rangers game tonight. So I just hopped outside because I'm cleaning out my car. So taking the family there tonight. But this Graham stuff is I think it's a little. I don't even know why we're having the conversation, because I don't see how this guy gets past 5. He's elite. He's really, really good. I don't see how he goes past 5, because when you look at it, New England can take him. The Giants can take him. The Jacksonville Jaguars will certainly take him if he's there. So I don't see how in any world he gets to us at 7. But if he does get to us at 7, I would definitely take him, because I think he's way better than Membu, and I think he's way better than Warren. So if he is there at 7, which I think there's like maybe a 4-5% chance that he's there, I would jump all over it, because the guy's elite. You figure out how he works with Quinnen later. That's a great problem to have. You know what I mean? It's like, if you got 2 Quinnens, okay, we'll deal with it. But I don't see how you could pass on that guy if he's there at 7, because when you look at his tape, especially what he did, that Ohio State game is insane. What they did in that game is insane. So I love everything about Mason Graham. The only thing is I don't see how he's there for us, because he's one of the few elite players in this draft.
Yeah.
So that's really all I got, man. And I do like the trade down conversation. Like, we've been talking about it forever. I do love the trade down. But if we're stuck there, I've said it from the beginning, just take Membu, man. Solidify the line. We haven't had 5 guys on the line. We'll have 5 guys. We got Fashanu. We'll have what's his name? The Simpson, Tipman. You got AVT, and then you got Membu. What are we talking about, man? That's solid right there. And then that's for years to come. 2, 3, 4 years. We got those guys on the line. So I would just don't overthink it. Don't try to trade, just take the best guy that's there. And I think that's gonna be Membu. But if Graham's there, you gotta take him. So that's really all I got, Jake, man. I appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate it, John. Have a good time at the game later. Yeah, look, I understand the argument there. I do. And look, it's still probably, if I had to guess, unlikely Graham is there. But it does feel like there's a ton of momentum for Jalen Walker. So we can't completely rule it out, is I guess what I would say on that. I understand. I rather go offense. I would. Like, I rather take the tackle than the defensive tackle. Give me the guy that can play right tackle. I understand the argument. Hey, the defense will be fixed. You can dominate this and that. I want offense. That's where the sport is headed. You can win with a mediocre defense if your offense is outstanding. We've seen that. Your defense doesn't even need to be great. It needs to be opportunistic. Can you force turnovers? Can you be good in the red zone? Like, who cares how many yards you allow per game? We saw that with the Jets this past year. The Jets, I think, were like top 10 or top 5 even in like yards allowed per game. Who cares? Their defense sucked. Anyone think the Jets defense was good because they were top 5 in a category like that teams look at? No, you know what I look at? Points per game. They were near the bottom. Can you get a big stop when the game's on the line? They couldn't all year. How many more wins would the Jets would have had if they were able to get a stop defensively? Like, to me, it's like, yeah, you'd argue, well, Graham will help you get those stops. I understand that, but they got to score points. They got to score points. There's a lot of talent already on the defense. It's not like the defense is bare, and it's a good DT draft. I can find a good defensive tackle. B-Show says, if it works out, Membu could be Tristan Wirfs. That's a W. Yeah, 100%. Rich says, smash the like. Amen, Rich. Cody writes in, both Q and Grant could be on the field together on all obvious passing downs. There's definitely a pathway for them to be on the field together. It's just how does the coaching staff utilize them? It's not even just them. It's like the rest of the D-line. Like, are you in a 3-4? Are you in a 4-3? How are you lining up? Dylan, who's a draft guru and will join us this week, I'm taking Graham, Membu. I'm taking Graham over Membu / Warren if he falls. I mean, Dylan's always been high on Mason Graham. And I'm not saying it's the wrong pick. I prefer offense. Barbarossa checks in. Jacob, we trade back and get a few extra mid-round picks. Do you think we'd use those to get another second? So you're saying we trade back to get an extra few mid-round picks. Do I think the Jets could then, in theory, take some of those extra picks and then use them to get back into round 2? Yeah, why? You can't rule that out. Right, what if the Jets are like, we're going to get some extra picks because we know a couple of the players we want at, say, tight end or our starting offensive tackle, they're there in round 2, and we got to move up. I could see it. Definitely could see that. I think, honestly, everything's really on the table with this draft. It's a very unique draft. It's the first year of this regime. They've handled free agency a lot differently than we've seen in the past. There's a lot of holes on this team. They could get extra picks. I still think that's the best path. If you're tuning in late, membership boost today. If you gift 5 raffles for this show only, it is actually 7. Our Asmaniac raffle is this afternoon. We're giving away a signed Joe Namath Super Bowl III helmet, signed Curtis Martin helmet, signed Joe Klecko football, and a signed Wayne Corbett football. Those are the top 4 prizes in the Asmaniac raffle this afternoon. So make sure you gift the membership to be in the raffle. More of your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is on the line.
Oh, Mr. Bonesy.
Is that my new entrance? My
It might be
back.
for now. I mean, without Mrs. Bonesy, I don't know if you win as Maniac Madness Bones. I mean, we got to be real. And also, happy birthday to Mrs. Bonesy. I saw the Instagram post yesterday. What a celebration it looked like.
Yeah, you saw that balloon banner, bro? That was done homemade by your boy, Mr. Bonesy.
Well done.
That took me like three days, staying up till like 3. Oh man, it was interesting. Anyway, this new news, man. What else are they gonna say? You know, listen. I know people aren't gonna want to hear this. I would love it. Imagine we could trade Quinnen. I know this isn't the best, most common thing, but I would love to trade Quinnen. I think Quinnen is a player who, he's a great talent, but he's getting paid at the top of his position. He does take plays off, and I don't know if that's an Aaron Glenn mindset. Maybe they're really big on Graham, and we could get something real nice for Quinnen. And I know it's kind of more like a future move. You don't want to create a hole, but when you're creating a hole by trading Quinnen, you're also going to get good compensation. If we ever were to trade Quinnen, you're not getting peanuts back. He's paid as a top, premium player at his position. So we would definitely get something good back for him. And I don't know, just throwing it out there. Maybe they'd want to, reset the clock on the DN instead of having all that money, in the D line, maybe for the scheme aspect of it. What do you think of that?
How does that make them better, though, would be my thing. Because it's like you would then be creating still a hole at DT, and you would have to replace Quinnen. Like, I don't know. I think Quinnen, to me, is a tough player to evaluate because of all the times he's double teamed. So the argument would be, well, good luck double teaming him now if you got Mason Graham there who could be dominant.
Agreed. But what if Quinnen was going to get you a first-round pick back?
It depends on the team. Which team is giving me a first-rounder?
Agreed. That's obviously, if you're trading Quinnen, especially at his price tag of what he's making, you got to get a first-round pick back. I feel like that'd be essential in the deal. Because if you were going to tell me, hey, someone wants to give you a late first-round pick for Quinnen, and maybe a day 3 pick included, or some type of swap, or something included Quinnen that you get a first-round pick back because you want to get Graham. Because maybe you're looking at it as this draft, how many talented players are worthy of a top pick? There's not as many players besides Genty, maybe Mason Graham, and for me, maybe Travis Hunter, Walker. Who else is really like a dead set, top 10 picks? So I don't know. It all depends on the evaluation of Muji and our staff. And what they're looking for and what type of players they're looking for. Maybe they like Quinnen, I just hate D tackle. It's just a tough position to evaluate, like you said. And we've always, Quinnen got paid because he had that great year and a contract year, but I don't know. I always watch Quinnen and I'm like, listen, you're getting paid a lot of money, top of your top of the D tackles, and I never see him blowing up enough run plays. Forget his pass, he's getting double teamed or whatever, but I wanted to see that motor and just, you show me something like Aaron Donald just blowing up some run plays, Show him something. Show me something.
Hey, look, I still think Quinnen's really, really good, and he's been victimized by how poor the D-line was around him, like how decimated it was. You still look at his win rate and the amount of attention he commands. I think it's a big reason why Will McDonald was able to have a big season. He's getting one-on-one opportunities, and I think you'll get that with Jermaine. I think Quinnen's someone you want to keep, and you add Graham to it, not you draft Graham and trade Quinnen and then try and get I don't. You're definitely getting a first this year. I don't even know. Then you're
If
waiting
you
till
want
next
it, then I
year.
wouldn't. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think you do that. I think the debate is, do you add Graham to this defense, or do you go out there and you try and trade back if someone else wants Graham, or do you just say, we're here at 7, Graham is really good, but we want to solidify our offensive line. Instead, we're taking Armand Membu. I think that's the conversation.
Yep. I hated even throughout. I know Salah's scheme is so based on being able to run up the middle, but you're just always so soft, even on like short down yardage. It's like, yo, Quinnen, man, we're paying you a lot of money, and I can't remember the last time, like during the season, where we got like a big stop on third and short or fourth and short. Like it was so easy to just run right through the middle on us. It's like, yo, Quinnen, paying you a lot of money, dog. Can't you blow one of those up? Maybe give us like, a couple blow ups a game in the run game on a short yardage back. I just always remember us getting run on those short yardage, and I just don't know he's making so much money. So I just say, hey, we're paying you, bro. Show me something,
Bonesy,
scheme.
When you call back, lose the AirPods. I think it's causing the choppiness everyone's complaining about in the chat.
I do have the AirPods in because I'm listening to you while I'm doing shit. So my bad, guys. I'll next time I got you. My bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Asmaniac Madness champion.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Could also be the fact that Bonesy doesn't have an iPhone, but could be the AirPods as well. Ladies and gentlemen, David Atkins has gifted a channel membership. David, you will be entered in the raffle, which is now scheduled to be this afternoon. Bo C, who better than Bo? Bo knows. Bo knows raffle entries.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
This show, we're doing a special boost, so Bo is actually in for 12 by gifting 10 channel memberships. Greg Reed, Sharon McLean, Australian Jets fan, Aaron Quinanis, 99 Jet, Alan Stinks, Team Curry, Gaming with Chris, CJ, Pork of the Morning, all receiving channel memberships. You heard me say the name Australian Jet fan. Not only was he gifted a channel membership, but he happened to be the next caller up next. What's up, Australian Jets fan?
Hey Jake, I just wanted to thank Bo for gifting me the membership as well. I just wanted to say that I have officially booked my ticket to New York, so I will be at the draft party.
Let's go. I will.
So I'm super excited.
Your draft ticket will be comped by me. I made you that promise. If you make it there all the way from Finland, we got you. So Australia Jet fan will be in the house. That's awesome.
Cheers. Let's just hope that my flight doesn't get cancelled or anything bad happen. Hopefully not to jinx it, but the flight is booked. I'm on my way to New York, and I've also got something cool to show you as well. It's actually my dad with Fireman Ed. So I guess that's going to be me next week as well.
Wow, we got to recreate the picture with you guys.
So I'm very excited.
That's awesome, man. That's very cool. I'm glad you can make it, man. That's going to be a ton of fun.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see everybody and see what the Jets do. It'll be a great night, one to remember.
AJF, we will see you there, my man. Appreciate you. How about that? I mean, we have people coming from Florida, North Carolina. But now we have someone coming all the way from Finland to this draft party. Unbelievable. J-Boy is gifted a channel membership. J-Boy, you're in the raffle for 1 later today. Incel Allen says, Aaron Donald always dominated no matter what. Comparing anyone to Aaron Donald is silly. He's arguably a top 5 defensive player of all time when you look at the resume. So you can't compare anyone to Donald. He's in a different world. More calls right now. Charleston Jets Rube is on the line, and he looks handsome today. What's up, Charleston?
Hey, thanks, Jake. I don't understand wanting to trade away our best players. I understand Q takes a playoff occasionally here and there, but if there's anybody that can get him to play to his full effort 100% of the time, isn't it AG? I mean, what is this getting rid of Brees Hall, getting rid of all our best players? What is happening in Cuckoo Town right now?
And then we had to replace these guys, and then after
That's what I'm saying.
And then like we know how this goes. They end up failing to replace them successfully. So then to overcompensate, you spend wildly in free agency to try and fix your mistake. And you're paying premium for guys who are good, not great, and ends up putting you in cap hell. And the cycle repeats itself. It's like you finally have good players. You pay them, you keep them, you build around them. That's how it's done.
I mean, what are we going to get? A 2 for Q? And are you really going to replace Q even with taking plays off with the second rounder? I mean, come on. Come on. I know this is a different regime, but we don't necessarily have the best history on second rounders. But, in stupid robot vacuum decides to clean itself right by me here.
Where are you at, by the way? I like the suit and tie look we got here. You're the best dressed caller we've had in a long time.
I've got a Zoom interview here shortly, and just so I don't get Brig on my butt, I do currently have a job. I'm just looking to get a different one. So stay off me, Briga. I got a job. But congrats, by the way, to Bonesy. I think it was definitely deserved. I kind of thought Ricky NY would do it, but it's definitely understandable why Bonesy won. So congrats to him. My thing is, I loved all this talk with all these other players moving up. In my perfect world, what's going to happen is Gentry's going to be there at 7. Graham will be there at 7. Shador Sanders will be there at 7. And then maybe we have a couple teams bidding against each other to get some more picks, right? Something like that happens. Let's go ahead and, let's say we get down into the, mid-teens, high 20s, something like that with some of the teams that we've been talking about trading down to. Go with Loveland, right? And then I forget this guy's name, but who's that really good blocking tight end who didn't catch many balls? He's looking to go on day 3. Why is he? His name is. I just had it when I
Jackson Hawes or Hayes.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, and then double dip with him. And you know what? Let's go with the second or third round offensive tackle. Put that beast on the same side as our new tackle or one of these guys that we just got. Then you have, Loveland, who is, he can be a decent blocker too, but, he's more of that, get down the field kind of tight end, catch the ball, get the one tight end late, because how often have we actually had a player late that has had any kind of impact outside of Michael Carter, right? Put him on the same side as the right tackle for help. And then, I mean, I'm all about 2 tight ends in this draft. One that can block like a son of a bitch and one that can catch good. That's and again, quit with all the craziness with getting rid of our best players. Aaron Glenn is going to get these guys to step up. I mean, I didn't want Aaron Glenn. I wanted offense, but looking at some of his interviews, it makes me want to, who was that quarterback again back in the for the Vikings that he ran his head up against the cement wall after a play and screwed himself up for the rest of the season?
Oh,
yes. Yeah, that's what AG makes me want to do, like that dude has a way of firing people up. So I just say let's give AG a shot with our best players. You know what? If we win 3 games this year, then blow the whole damn thing up and start from scratch. But let's give him at least his shot.
Gus Farrat was the quarterback you think.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, look, all fair. Just get the, if you nail the pick, we'll look back and not question, like, did they get the best position of that? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the most important thing when you're picking in the top 7. Your first round pick, you got to get right. And then from there, yeah, you'll get a chance to really see what type of GMing Muji and Glenn for that matter are capable of by how they handle the second, third round, how they play the board. But pick 7's a tone setter type of pick. Like Joe Douglas's first pick was Mekhi Becton. They were chasing that mistake the next 5 drafts after that, right? So you gotta get this first pick spot on. Got to get it done. So I'm with you now. Let me ask you this: your interview, is it over Zoom?
Well, Google Meets. Yep.
So are you gonna wear pants, or are you just gonna be just completely in the nude below, and they'll have
You know
no idea.
what? My thoughts were to just keep the sweats on. But you know what? I really want this job. So, when you put on a suit, like I'm not going to have to wear a suit daily with this job, but it's just the idea, and maybe Bobby Midnight and all these guys can learn from this. It's just the idea of you put yourself in a certain mind frame, you're going to think a little different. You put the entire suit on, it just puts you up to that next professionalness in
I
your
like it.
mind, in their mind, that sort of thing.
Maybe Bobby should start calling in a suit to kind of practice for future interviews.
I tell you what, man, ever since he showed off his hair, I'm telling you, I got a boy crush on Bobby, man. He is one handsome fella. He really is. I tell
I
you what,
love
you put that guy in a suit, man, he could, get a job at any hotel or restaurant. I know that's kind of what he's been coveting for here recently, but my big thing, honestly, in the top 3 rounds, I want 2 pass catchers. I want a really good pass catching tight end, and I want a wide receiver. We haven't spent enough on that sort of stuff lately. And when we have, we've had the regime that hasn't had a clue on how to spend those picks. So, in Muji and Glenn, because we all know Glenn's really running the show, in them we trust. And, let's get some pass catchers. Let's get a kick-ass blocking tight end. Let's shore this lineup and just shove this thing down people's throats and get Loveland or Warren a good 600-800 yards with 6-8 touchdowns. And I think we're going to be good to go. But Jake, thank you. Love the show. Having some massive withdrawals. I almost feel like a asthmaniac crackhead or something with withdrawals here. So I can't wait till next year, man. I can't. When it first started, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But the further it went along, it was like must-see TV. So that was great. Props to everybody that did that. But gotta go. Get ready for my interview. Love you, Jake. Thanks, bud.
Good luck. Charleston Jet Room, everyone. An awesome call. I think he's in the tournament next year if he becomes a regular. Good call there. Good luck with the interview, Charleston. I like it. Dressing for success right there. Perhaps we'll hear that on Selection Sunday next year for Charleston Roop. Mike Dems in the raffle for 1. Thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate you. For those of you just tuning in late, raffle 22, our Jets retired number theme raffle, will be this afternoon on the show. It was supposed to be this morning, but pushing it back to this afternoon. Wayne Corbett signed football will be given away. A Joe Klecko signed football will be given away. A Curtis Martin signed helmet will be given away. And our top prize, one of the coolest items I think we've ever given out, a signed Joe Namath Super Bowl III helmet and display case included. How about that? So gift away, your last chance to get in. $20 super chats today are going for 7. And if you want to send in a $50 super chat, it will go for 12 instead of the usual 10. Jojo says you need a Wayne interview. So Wayne Corbett has been on the show before. He joined us during our mega cast last year for the NFL draft. Really good conversation with him. I think we isolated that interview as well, so you can go back and watch it. Blitz got beats right. And Rube definitely believes in achievement dressed like that. Yeti says a suit like that equals achievement. Amen. Babe Brigham probably was proud with that call. No doubt. No doubt about it. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. At the beginning of the show, we reacted to the story that I think is a real one here. The Jets are really interested in Mason Graham, bringing him in for a top 30 visit tomorrow. They spoke with him at the Combine in the formal interview setting, which means they put in a request to talk to him. They had dinner the night before with him at his pro day, and now a top 30 visit in the books. This is a real possibility. Now, is he going to be there at 7? Felt like for a while, no way. Now, maybe. A lot of love for Jalen Walker. Could he actually go before Mason Graham? Nick Shine with a super chat. Big shout out to Charles for making my show ads all about protecting yourself from identity theft. Don't be like Charles Gorman. Don't get catfished. Wise words to live by. More of your calls right now. Eric is on the line. What's up, Eric?
Hi, Jake.
What's up, Eric?
I've been pretty big on Mason Graham the whole time. I've been pushing for him. But Joe Blewett really kind of scared me off a little bit because if you're taking him and you're going to have trouble getting him and Quentin on the field at the same time, it's kind of, that's not what you want with the number 7 pick. And I think all the talk about trading Quentin's crazy. You can't create a hole when you already have like 3 or 4 big holes on the offense. You create a hole, you're probably not going to get a first for him, maybe a second, maybe a real late first. And then you're using that first to replace him. Then you still need a pass catcher. You still need a tackle. You still need a tight end. So I'm much more leaning Membu these days. Get Membu with the first round pick. Try to grab someone like Higgins with the second, maybe a tight end at a third. I think that's the best combination of tackle, receiver, tight end. If you're going to take those 3 picks, you'll get the most bang for your buck doing it that way.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I think it's all about like how they view the top players and what their philosophy is. Like they might look at it like we're BPA at premium spots no matter what. So that's one way of looking at it. Hey, Mason Graham's there. He's our best player on our board, and he plays a premium position. Now, do we probably need an offensive tackle more than we need a defensive tackle right now? Yes, but they might not look at it that way. They might say, that's not how we're doing it. We're going to take really good players at premium spots and go from there. So to your point, how they want to navigate the board, I think that's probably the better way to do it, but they might not be thinking that's the best way to go about attacking the draft.
Yeah, it kills me because I actually think, like, looking back at the draft in a few years, Graham might be the best player coming out. I could see him having more success than, Carter or Hunter. Not that he definitely will, but I could see it. But it's just, how are you going to, we got to trust Glenn to know what he's doing. And if Glenn takes him, well, that's what I'll assume is he knows what he's doing. But I just don't see how it works out that way myself.
Yeah, look, to me, if he ends up being the best player in the draft, then you almost got to take him. If they think he's going to be the best player in this draft class, a draft class that features, a premier edge rusher in Abdul Carter, a once in a generation type of player in Travis Hunter, where he could play both sides of the ball, Knoble style, then you got to take him at 7 if he's there. But if other teams feel that way, then he's not going to be there at 7, if that makes sense. So then the Jets won't have to worry about that. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line, open phone lines if you want in on the conversation. Appreciate all of you tuning in. April 14th, 10 days from now, Clinton Hall, New York City. Get your ticket locked in before we max out. Your ticket includes a complimentary drink and automatic entry into our Asmaniac raffle. Ticket is $30, and we're giving away in the raffle that night signed Sauce Gardner jersey, signed Joe Klecko jersey, signed Jermaine Johnson jersey, signed Nick Mangle jersey, signed Garrett Wilson photo, signed Wesley Walker photo, signed Breece Hall trading card, signed Aaron Glenn trading card, signed Chad Pennington trading card, Emerson Boozer signed helmet, 4-pack of Yankee tickets, and multiple chances to get tickets to a Jets home game. And announced it yesterday. Maybe the best prize ever in the history of the Jake Asman Show. Charles Gorman has agreed to put on game-worn Jake Asman as Maniac-themed underwear. He will put it on. There could be skid marks by the time he takes it off, and we will raffle that away as well to one lucky listener. Doesn't get better than that. Unreal. Bo, good take. Eric the Punisher. Bo, that was a good take by Eric. Let's see. Bonesy writes in. I can't wrap my mind around drafting Graham at 7 and keeping Q. I think it's because I'm scared of Dwayne Robertson, Sheldon Richardson, Leonard Williams, Quinnen, FDT. I wouldn't take him. I wouldn't. I would go offensive tackle before I'd go Graham. More important, I think, for the Jets in 2025 and beyond. That's how I'm looking at it. More calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy is a presence when he calls in. He is highly respected. Some say that he's revered. It's time.
Women. Hey, Jake. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, I'm calling. I love you, Bonesy, but come on. You can't say about trading Quinnen. I mean, I think that's ridiculous because if you get rid of him, then who do you get? Graham, and you still have a hole. See, people have to see that Quinnen was exceptional when we had Al Woods alongside of him, when we had Sheldon Rankins alongside of him, when we had Quentin Jefferson alongside of him. He had like 12 sacks that year. So this poor guy's constantly getting double teamed. He was playing defense on shifts because that's the way Saleh taught him. So at times he was a little out of breath. But I think under Aaron Glenn, he's obviously going to be in a lot better condition. He'll be able to play more than 60, 70% of the game. And if we could find another tackle for him, I think we'll be fine. Now, as far as if Graham is available, would I take him, Jake? I don't know, possibly. I think that would solve our defensive tackle situation, having Graham and having obviously Quinnen, right plugging up the middle. I know they're similar players, so there would have to be tweaks to be made, but I think they would both be very, very good. So I would be okay with that. Now, obviously, I want an offensive weapon. I'd rather have Warren. I'm not going to lie. The prospect of getting Warren, because he's able to block also, is tremendous. That would probably be my first pick. I'm okay with Membu, okay? I would be okay with Membu if we pick him. I still think that we could get a Ozzy Trapilio in like the second or third round. And I think with a little bit of teaching, he could start right away. So if that's the case, then I would probably go Warren. But as far as Quinnen, you don't get rid of guys like that. You just put a better player alongside of him and train him to last more than 70% of the games, and you're going to see a great year from him. You don't have to get rid of someone like that. And then it's like starting all over. We're contemplating getting rid of guys like Brees for Genti, and now we're talking about getting rid of Quinnen. I mean, I think this is getting a little ridiculous here. We're getting rid of our good players, and we're almost like starting all over again and creating an additional hole. So I tell you, Jake, I wouldn't do that. I really wouldn't. And then I wanted
Pornhub.
Rob, thank you. He wasn't done. Yes, Rob?
Just one more point, Jake. And I think you're going to think that I'm nuts for saying this, but I'm going to say it. I don't think what Neil is saying is ridiculous, okay? To obviously think about Sanders if he's there in the 7th pick. And let me explain why. In college, the guy threw for over 74% completion, okay? He was a winner in college. Now, I'm not saying that I would pick him, but if they picked him, it wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing in the world. I don't think it would be. I mean, he is a winning quarterback. He did not throw a lot of interceptions. You put him behind Justin Fields for a year. I mean, he might be your quarterback, or he might be, we're not looking for a quarterback that's got to be top 10, but if he could be your quarterback who's even top 15 eventually, I mean, it might be a quarterback for the future. And that's the last point that I have. And again, I'm not saying that I would pick him first. It's not what I'm saying, but I don't think it's that outlandish what Goomba Neal said, but that's all.
Butt plugs.
The idea of taking Sanders at 7 is not outlandish if the Jets believe him. I think it's outlandish because I don't think they think he's a top 7 quarterback in this draft. I don't even know if they would have a first-round grade on him. I think they signed Fields and gave him the contract they did because they evaluated Sanders as part of their options. They talked about trading up. They looked into both quarterbacks. They met with both quarterbacks at the combine. I think they view Cam Ward as a first-round guy, top 10 guy. He won't be there. Once it became clear he won't be there, they pivoted to Fields. I don't think they have top grades on Sanders, and they might like Dart more than Sanders too, based on some of the rumblings we've heard about people in the building liking Dart. Like Rick Spielman, we know likes Dart. He just said it publicly before he started working for the Jets. Doesn't mean he likes him enough to take in the top 7. I think at the end of the day, it doesn't not make sense if they take him because they're saying they believe in him. But they've also said everything about Fields, which lends you to believe that he's the guy. They don't think he's been coached right. They're going to give him a chance to play quarterback. These are quotes from the head coach. General manager comparing him to Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield's career renaissance with the right team. So I don't think the Jets are going to take Sanders. If they do, though, they're saying that they think he could be a franchise quarterback. It's not crazy. I don't think it's going to happen, though, is my point. They need a quarterback long term. They don't have one. So, yeah, wouldn't be ridiculous. It's not quite Atlanta taking Penix last year after they gave Cousins $100 million. They basically have Fields on a 1-year deal for $30 million. Sam with a super chat. What is the obsession with drafting another DT in the first? Rather trade down for a receiver in Golden. Me too. Me too, absolutely. Christopher says, Jake, love you, our brother. Buddy, you're awesome. Incredible. NY Jets content. JETS, Jets. Thank you, Christopher. Your check's in the mail. Come to the draft party, Christopher. I don't know where you live, but we'd love to have you if you can make it. Alan says, Sanders at 7, I'm done. God. Now we got a tough decision to make here. Alan leaves the Jet fan base and leaves. I mean, is he even a Jet fan? Forever. But then we got to deal with Sanders at 7. Is it worth it? It might be. See, these are the things we got to consider. Beastbreaker writes in, Alan, go away, you foul odor. Henny, now I want Sanders. Jets Johnny with the 100s emoji. Yeah, I mean, so, I really didn't want Sanders at 7, but if it means Alan leaves, I mean, we got to at least entertain it a little more now, no? I mean, come on. Is wrestling in Sacramento tonight? Why is Pat McAfee doing his show from Sacramento? What am I missing? Tell me, wrestling fans, because I don't know anything about that. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 42,000 subs. We've been around 41.5 for a while now. Kind of a slower time here before the draft. But these next 10 days, we're going in a hyperdrive, baby. Content galore. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and spread the word to all your fellow Jet fans. And you can get the show in audio form. I actually met a listener yesterday at the Yankees game who listens to the show on podcast every day. So you can listen on Apple or Spotify. Just search Jake Asman Show. It comes right up. Quick reminder about the Patreon as well. If you want access to our private Discord, join the Patreon. Shout out to Blitz Got Beats. He joined the Patreon. He's now in our Discord. Curly Norman signed up for the year. Daz Bradford signed up for the year. Bo C joined last week. Bijan joined the week prior. Manny Palucci, who bought draft tickets over the weekend, is also a recent Patreon subscriber. So shout out to everyone who supports me on Patreon. Without that, we wouldn't have our Discord and this great community that we can keep together and inform all the time. Curtis Martin fan says, Shador to the Jets ain't it. I'm sure he'll be a good player, but I'd rather he go to the Saints. I mean, if he's going to be a good player, I would say the Jets should take him, but I think it's too risky. I think they're better off with Fields for a year, and if it doesn't work, go quarterback next year. Hennessy says, wasn't Allen retiring? I see him on every YouTube show. He was retiring from calling, but he could still write, and talk in the chat. When I woke up today, I had a feeling about this guy on the line? I was thinking to myself, I'm going to wear something so we can match. And I got out of bed and I put on my Jake Asman Show t-shirt, which you can get at jakeasman.com, of course. And I was thinking, man, I really want to match with this guy. I want to be like him today. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time.
Breaker 666 $50 will send his ass to the hole where there's no gabagool.
Trying to get the kinks out, kids. You know what time it is? Exercise. When you get older, you're going to have to learn to do this because you don't want to throw out your damn back in the years to come. You know that? This works like a good charm. Now to get down and press the toes. You know what? I think I might try and do some push-ups today. Yeah. Let's give it a try. Let's get down here. That feels good. All right, shake it off. That feels good. Feel good. Feel good today.
You look good, Beast.
Feel good. Got 10 push-ups in, a couple high knees, a little stretch. That's a. Sorry, 3 siblings. Those are not fake push-ups, little fella. See ya. I feel good. Feel good. We're not trading Brees Hall. Forget that. Whatever Alan says, it's either dipped in ragu sauce without flavor, or he must have forgot to put the seasonings on the beef. Definitely. If you want to cook. Now, I'm going to tell everyone, now to all you pros out there who know how to grill, use red wine, or you can use Chardonnay, or you can use any other different wine, but make it very sexy. But enough about cooking. That call can wait. That's the spam call. I'm not answering it. They can go, I'm not going to say it here because this is your show. I don't want to cause trouble here. Forget that nonsense. They can wait.
Business do you have any water to rehydrate? You sound like you're out of breath. There you go.
Business is booming. Things are looking good. Positivity's looking great. We're just about a few more days away from that draft party. And I'm going to be there in spirit, and I will be watching. And if we get Warren and Membu and 2 other stars that we want, we're going to be great. We're going to be just fine, just like I predicted. We're going to be fine.
We're gonna get Warren and Membu.
We're going to, if we have to. And I feel good today. I feel good. Lost about 3 or 4 pounds. Feel good. And I'm getting ready for Easter. I already got my lamb. I already got my rib roast. I already got my ham. And I got Jesus. I'm glad God brought me onto this earth and gave us this. And you know what else? This right here. Look at it in Weep, folks. See it in Weep? That's right, baby. That's a 1993 Jets helmet that I've had for many, many years, for over 30 years. I got that out of a coin machine when I was like 9 or 10 years old. God damn, I was 9 when I got that. I was like, hey. But hey, those were the days, but those days are over with. But I'm going to say this to everybody. We're not trading anybody. How about we just give Michael Clemens to the Patriots, like for maybe $10,000, maybe a small change, little small change start. And we can also get away, let's see, who else could we give away? We're not giving Michael Carter away. We can forget that. We're also not giving away Quinnen Williams. We're going to get him back one way or the other. We get him on his feet back and running. Brees Hall staying. We're also going to keep Josh Fields. We're going to keep all the stars we have. And if anybody doesn't like it, eat it. You know what I mean by eat it? Take a walk and get out of here. Get out of here. You're not quality enough. You're not up to my par. As a matter of fact, You didn't see that coming, did you?
You know what we need, Beast? We need a little Justin Fields throwing to Garrett Wilson.
Okay. Oh, now you want to let's play dirty. Okay, boys. Weak formation 3-3-5 in the front. Get out. Green 73. Green 73. Move it out. Stand. Hi. Yeah, baby, take it to the big jack.
That's what we needed on this Monday. Got to get the week started right, baby. Beast is exercising. Those jumping jacks were great. Push-ups, fantastic. And once again, the strongest bed frame in the continental U.S. is in the Beast Breaker lair. Unreal. Sam with a super chat. Today, this is 2 entries. We're doing a boost on $10 super chats. Normally, they don't count in the raffle. Today, they do. Last show till the raffle this afternoon. True or false? Sanders is better than Eli, Zach Wilson, Kyler Murray, Alex Smith, Daniel Jones when they came out. Can we just list the real reasons we don't want them? False. False. 100%. Eli was thought to be a way better draft prospect. Honestly, I'm no Zach Wilson fan, but so was Zach Wilson. Go look at how Zach Wilson was graded by the same people who now grade Shador. You can see it. It's all online. There wasn't talk of Zach Wilson being a huge reach at 2. It was like maybe some like Fields better than him, but it wasn't like overwhelming. That whole class stunk. So no one really knows is the point I would make, Sam. Like if they took Sanders and whatever team, like we can't say he's automatically going to be bad. Who knows? Look at Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins. Jalen Hurts was a 2nd round pick. We don't know. But maybe Daniel Jones would be the only one I'd say. I don't know if he was like Daniel Jones should not have been 6. That was a reach. But I don't think Shador Sanders belongs in those. He's not the same level of prospect as some of those players. Most of those players you mentioned on the screen there. Rich says AI summary. Oh, God. Someone tell me what the AI summary was. Someone let me know. We love a good AI summary around here. Nick wants to know, how do I feel about Kenny Albert replacing Sam Rosen? I mean, deserved, no? I mean, Kenny's been the Rangers radio guy for years. Now, he obviously doesn't do every Ranger game. Don LaGreca does a great job and does a lot too, but I mean, Sam's a legend. He'll be missed. But Kenny Albert's, a staple in New York sports. Kenny's called the Ovechkin goal that broke the Gretzky record. Phenomenal. Great call. Shout out to Kenny. Rich says, hit the like button. Amen. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. That helps us continue to grow. More people need to discover this show because once we get them here, I'm convinced we got a good product. But we got to get them to the channel. That's the key. It's a grassroots operation here. I was going to go to the great pork of the morning, but he just dropped off as I was about to click the button. Let's see if he calls back. Oh, he has. There we go. Pork of the morning. You're next. What's up, man?
Hey, Jake. How's it going?
What's up, Pork?
I was just checking out our roster. We definitely need some safety help. And I seen R.J. Mickens he's in the draft. It's Ray Mickens' kid. He'd probably be a day 3 pick, and I don't know how he'd work out.
He's definitely a day 3 pick, they say. I know Connor Rogers, who I respect and think is a great draft analyst. He likes Mickens a lot, thinks he could be a starter in this league. So it wouldn't shock me if the Jets drafted him. I mean, obviously, he went to A&M. He is very close with Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn grew up around him. Him and his dad are still friends to this day. So I could see it.
All right. And I like this guy, this defensive end out of Georgia.
He actually went to Clemson, not A&M, but you get my point. R.J. Mickens.
Or Clemson. It's Clemson, not Georgia. Or whoever it may be. I like him too. The Bolts lost this weekend in dramatic fashion, but I got to hang out with some cheerleaders. I gave them some gummies. That was pretty cool. My dart game is better. I got my Pork in the Morning, Hankus Porkus dart shirt on. So I got a dart tournament tonight. Hopefully I win.
How about that? I hope you win. All right, you're representing all of us, Pork.
Yeah, I will. I got some sun too. If you notice, I got a little bit burnt.
You got to use that SPF.
I did, but you know what I mean? I'm like nearly 100% Irish, so I got burned easy, probably like you, Jake. So,
Oh, yeah, I use SPF 1000.
Yeah, that's probably what I need because, like, any part of my body that was exposed just, like, sizzles. So, kind of screwed on that. But, the Bolts are terrible. That's all I know. They're worse than the Jets. So they lost in very Jet-like fashion.
They're the Memphis Steamboat. What is it? The Steamboats, right?
Memphis Showboats.
Showboats.
They should be called the Stink Boats or the Shit Boats because they are terrible. When I tell you they're bad, they had to bring wrestlers in to make it more entertaining. Like between like in the TV timeouts and shit, and it was terrible. Like they need to do something. At least give us
you
a
had to have
decent
been
product.
one of the few people actually watching because between the Masters yesterday and end of the NBA regular season, baseball, like I don't know how many people were locked into a UFL game.
Yeah, I mean the fans are great there, but the players just aren't. So I'm looking forward to the NFL season. I mean, I can't wait. I mean, I play Madden every day, but that doesn't really, give me the fix that I would need for football.
You should play Madden against Charles Gorman.
What's that?
You should play Madden against Charles Gorman.
All right. I'm Hankus Porkus on PS5.
There you go.
I also play Rocket League. I'm big on Rocket League, so I'll definitely take on Gorman if he wants to. So, especially when a new one comes out.
Love it, Pork. Appreciate you, man.
They kill you on the prices, but
ladies and gentlemen, Pork in the morning. I thought he had what I think he was going to say at the end there. That was an interesting one. Pork, good luck in the dart match tonight. Open phone lines. Last chance to get in here. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Shout out to Oregon Jets. Mad Dog Radio Show was excellent. Oregon, thank you for listening. A full 4-hour soiree. I am on the radio next. As of now, unless they need me to fill in last second, I'm not on this week. I'm filling in for Michael K on the Michael K show on ESPN New York next Wednesday. So the day before the draft party, which is great because any tickets we might still have by then, I could push on the radio and get them sold. Plus, who wouldn't want to be on the radio the day before the NFL draft? So much to talk about. Derek says, why Shaq hating on the Knicks? He picked Detroit. They all hate on the Knicks. TNT never gives the Knicks credit. It's been a thing for years. Knicks can't lose to Detroit. I respect the Pistons. They're a good young team. The Knicks can't lose that series. They should honestly win it in 5. I mean, that's just a reality. Wow, Daniel going up and in on Bobby Midnight out of the blue. Bobby hasn't called into the show in days. Where's that loser Bobby? He thinks he's cool because he got 300 subs in one day. Sounds shady. Wow. Well, Nick Shine did admit that he paid for Bobby to get fake subscribers so he could be monetized. And I think Nick made a terrible mistake in doing that. I'll tell you why. Because now you think Bobby's going to try hard to get a job if he thinks he can make a living on YouTube? He's going to be sitting there all day being like, woohoo, I'm going to do a 12-hour show and get money. It's like, no, Bob, you got to get a full-time job. And then you could do YouTube for fun on the side as it grows. But you can't just start a YouTube channel and make money right away. Nick Shine is setting up Bobby to fail. That's my hot take. Where is Bobby? That's the question. I don't know. I don't have the answers. Now, Clancy brings up the fact that Bobby can't work full-time. Most is 24 hours or so. But still, is Bobby trying hard to get even a part-time job? If he knows he could just turn on the YouTube, maybe get a membership or two gifted to him or a super chat of $5. Beast says, let's not make fun of Bobby. He's trying to get a job. That's the question, Beast. No one should make fun of Bobby. But is he really trying hard to get a job? That we don't know. I don't know. We're just talking. We're just speculating. More of your calls right now. Nate is on the line. Hey, Nate.
60-second mock draft challenge. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Nate.
Timer's on. 10. Will Campbell. Tyler Warren. Malachi Starks. Pick.
Say it again. Your audio's terrible. Your audio is terrible. What is it?
Ted McMillan. Malachi Starks. Tyler Warren.
Tyler Warren.
You got 40 seconds, Jake. Omar Lott. Kevin Winston. Josh Connerly. Jaden Higgins.
Connerly.
30
seconds.
Jake.
Submarine.
30 seconds. Yes. Kevin Winston. Omar Lott. Jalen Royals. Kyle Williams.
Kyle Williams. I think Kyle Williams. I think.
14 seconds, Jake. Stadium Jones, Jamari Caldwell, RJ
Mickens.
6 seconds, 4 picks. Billy Bowman, Tyler Robinson,
Bo. Funny bit. That could have worked, but the audio was so bad. You probably have like 8 streams going at the same time. Because I heard myself in the background echoing from the YouTube show. But I like the concept, Nate. Let's try that again with better internet. I think I got the first couple picks pretty good, though, for what it's worth, right? Who did we take? We took Warren. Then we took the Oregon offensive tackle in the round 2. And then we took, I think I took a receiver in round 3, right? Pretty good. It's funny how Nate's audio is only good when he's on a bike in the middle of Manhattan. But in his own home, it wasn't good there. All right, last chance to get in here. Now, Jets Johnny, I see you popping in and out. You're on hold. Are you trying to call back in? Do you have more to say? He might. Hello, Jets Johnny.
Oh, I mean, shit, I always got more to say. I don't know. Let's see. I want to know what Bonesy's smoking on. That's what I really want to know. If Bonesy can let me know who his guy is, because like, you know, he's the champ in all mad respect, but bro, come on, man. You can't get rid of good young talent and replace it with unknowns. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get that. I kind of understand where Allen's coming from with the whole getting rid of Brees, because running backs are kind of dime a dozen now. And, you know, there's a lot of talent in this draft. So I kind of sort of get the Brees stuff. But trying to get rid of Q, bro, you're crazy. So I really want to know what that is all about. And also put me on with Beastbreaker if you don't mind. Because this dude's faker than some flour in a powder bag. Man, this guy's a clown. I need to talk to him real quick if you don't mind.
We can't have a civil conversation.
Oh, we can have a civil conversation. I just want to talk to him real quick.
Would you silence, or should I do one of these? I heard you talking, bro. What's happening, G?
So I want to know why you diss me, and then you block me in the chat. But then every time I call in the private chat, you want to be all friendly. So I don't get the switch up.
Okay, all right. You know what this means? Time out.
I'm waiting.
Got too much going on right now with Wisconsin, with idiots from Wisconsin that are giving me headaches. I got a daughter who won't listen to me. I got things on my plate that I have to get rid of. I got problems that I need to eliminate, and I got a book.
We all got stuff, bro.
Everybody's jumping all over me. It's called, hey, don't make me do what Ralph Honk did on the Yankees in '61 when he yelled at the media and just said,
But
hey,
wait, time out. Hold up. Okay, but hold up. I didn't yell at you. Relax, bro.
I
So
understand.
everybody.
I'm just trying to make a point here.
All right, hold on. Let me talk. So a bunch of people come at you, but you block me. But then you want to act all friendly. I
did not notice you at first. I was trying to get certain people. I was just because my internet connection for AT&T is not so hot.
Are you listening to the words that are coming out of my mouth, or you just talking?
I'm trying to make salient.
Hey, look,
points.
we got a guest appearance.
Okay.
Oh, bro, you never do that. The only salient points you make are when you attack Allen. That's about it.
Hey, he's as easy as a three-headed combo at Wendy's. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna treat myself to some Wendy's today. You know what? Give me that nice bacon.
I thought you didn't eat fast food.
Hey, only Wendy's. I wouldn't touch McDonald's or Burger King because that's Gary brought some points up about that stuff being
It's all bad, man. It's all terrible for you. Wendy's is terrible for you too. Don't eat none of that shit.
I wouldn't want to doubt that. See, I don't like making doubts about that. You gotta think positive sometimes. You gotta take 75% good, leave the 25%. Keep it over there. You gotta make the good with the bad. Take good with the bad.
So that's what we got to do with you, right? We got to leave you over there.
Hey, what about Taco Bell? Are you serious?
Yo, Taco Bell's good, man.
I wouldn't touch Taco Bell with a 5-foot pole. Not real Mexican. If you want real Mexican food, there's a couple Mexican joints that I go to, and as a matter of fact, sure.
Yeah, but Beast, Taco Bell's for when late night when you're drunk, you come home, right, and you get some Taco Bell, and it kills the hangover, bro. That's what Taco Bell's there for. Come on, now we all know that.
You mean yo quiero Taco Bell?
Yo quiero Taco Bell.
You don't remember the dog when he said
I remember that one. Yeah, I remember the little Chihuahua.
Hey, just eat fatty meat. I'm not gonna take Gary's quotes. I'm gonna stick to fruits, vegetables.
You should though, Beast. You really should, man. You should lose some weight, bro.
Tell Gary fruits and vegetables are good for you, and also fruit punch, and also apple juice is good for you. Same with meat and water.
Yo, Beast, come on. Hey, wait, hold up, Beast. On the real though, bro. You should take some of that advice, bro, because he's saying you got all these problems and stuff. So you should listen to his advice, lose some weight. You know what I mean? Be there for your daughter and stuff like that, bro. Come on, get right.
I've done a lot of that, my friend. I paid for her graduation and her prom by myself.
I'm not. Hey, listen. I didn't say you weren't a good dad. That's not what I said. What I said was that you should lose some weight so you can continue to be a good dad and you can continue to be there for her.
That's what I'm.
What's that?
That's what I'm doing.
But you saying you're gonna go eat Wendy's? So what do you mean that's what you're doing, bro? You're gonna go eat Wendy's?
See, on this phone right here that I have, I got the steps when I get on my phone. I make sure to track all my steps. As a matter of fact, this past year, one time only, I had 12,352 steps on this phone. See, I could keep the miles up. See, that's why you keep everything.
Is that just from running around in the attic, or did you go outside?
No, I go to different parts of the suburbs. I go to Countryside. I go to Oak Lawn. I go to Berwyn, Burbank, anywhere I feel necessary. Hey, I'm all muscle. But you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and blow smoke up my ass. You know why? That's not for me. That's for the birdies. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do my thing. You do your thing with the rap music, because that rap music against JJ was
I appreciate that, man.
Just,
Nah, I'm gonna
hey,
leave
just,
that for Blitz BK album dropping 420, bro. We're gonna leave that for Blitz
add a
BK.
little, Hey, yo, JJ ain't my boy. He knows he
Hey,
talking.
did you hear the diss album that Blitz did for you? Oh,
He's just
yeah, he
stroking.
cooked your ass. He cooked you, bro.
The only thing he was cooking was turds in the toilet while I was cooking spaghetti and meatballs with garlic bread. That's the
Listen,
difference.
man.
See,
I think you
he's
need to come out with a
fiction,
response. I think we need
he's
the
fiction,
Beast Breaker
and
diss
I'm
track.
fact. He's nothing but fiction. Yeah, he's fiction. Let's look at the numbers. He's fiction. I'm facts. I'm straight facts.
Beast, what is facts about you though, bro? Like
I'm
you come
stronger.
on here one day you're this, the next day you're that.
I got so
You're
many.
a wrestling champ. You got 7 world heavyweight championships. Like, bro,
Oh,
what are you talking about? Come on.
Jack. Back it up. Back it up. 5-time back-to-back. 4-time singles.
How
3
can you be
triple crown.
5-time back to back?
2
So you 10-time champ? How
because
you
of the
5-time
numbers
back
I
to
have
back?
added over the years, from baseball to football to everything else in the
Ah,
world.
this guy,
The conquered and defeated the
see,
best. They've all came and
beast.
fought me.
When
They
you're
both
real,
lost to
we
the fight.
like you. When you start doing all this crazy shit, talking about
I'm
stuff you
more
never
mad than
done,
they'll ever
nobody
be.
likes you. That's why
Because
people
they
throw
could handle
tomatoes at you.
carry my bags, lace up my boots, or even touch my jock strap. That's a quote from
Beast,
the great Ricky Steamboat. And I'm
beast.
going to
I
say
would
to Ricky,
mollywop you, bro. Relax.
hey, yo, Ricardo, back it up, Jack. Just keep your pants on and walk with your laces, all right? Don't go laces with me,
Hey,
or I'll
beast, focus, man. Focus. We talking right now, bro.
Aces, laces. Hey, call me my maces. Hey,
This
where's my
guy,
missus when I call for the
he's just
distance?
talking to
Hey,
himself.
don't be dissing me, player. You're just
Yep, Nate, Blitz BK, new album 420.
on me. They got no respect. Hey, I get more
Go check
respect when
out
it
the
comes
Beast
to
Breaker diss
reality.
track. I tried to help with
Don't
this
touch
fool,
me,
but
fool. You're
he's
not
just
coming over there
all
stripping
up
like
in
a
his own
zoo.
head
You must be a
talking.
zoo, but hell, I might hey, you might be dropping like some drool. But hey, don't chew on my pillow
Bro,
because
your
if you do,
bars
I
are
will.
trash, bro. Your
Come on,
bars are
man.
trash.
Yeah, this is it, bro. I got something. I gotta
Yeah,
go take my
you out
thing.
of
So,
here? All right.
hey, all right. You know
We,
the drill.
we don't want
Holla
you
later,
anyways.
man.
All right, bro. I tried to help.
Beast Breaker. 666. He's the man who would kick your ass. And then he's gonna go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the show's about to end. Last chance, 30 seconds to get a raffle entry in for this afternoon. Joe Namath helmet, Super Bowl III edition, raffled away. Curtis Martin helmet, raffled away. Joe Klecko, football, raffled away. Wayne Corbett, football, raffled away. Those are the items. Gift. Once the show ends, that's it. And we announce the winners when we spin the wheel on our second show later today. So, got about a minute left in the program. Cortland Green says, Jake, these guys make Jet fans look ridiculous. What's going on here? Well, we are ridiculous. We're Jet fans. Unreal. Tom A says Beast was Bo Jackson before Bo Jackson. Australia Jet fan says Beast bars were better than JJ's. How about that? Unreal. All right. That's the show. Appreciate all of you. We're back this afternoon. Probably closer to 5 Eastern because we started late today. Thank you all. You guys are the best. You make the show the show. For that, we're all grateful. Make sure you buy a draft ticket. You'll hear me say it a lot. I have about 50 left, and I plan on selling them all. So come out, bring your friends, Clinton Hall. You get a free drink when you buy a ticket. You get automatically entered in our raffle. It's going to be a blast. Can't wait to see all of you. Click the link in the description if you haven't done so already. All right. That's it. Show's over. Go Jets, everyone. Jets. Jets.
So when I was walking into the stadium, Jake, I think I told you I had to have my Stiggers jersey today that just got here that I showed you on the last call. And I see a white shirt that says Stigger's uncle. Next to him, I see Stigger's mom. Like all of Stigger's family was there, and they're wearing all the shirts that say how they're related to him. I'm like, hey guys, I like your shirts. And I start breaking out my Stiggers jersey, which was in my bag. And the mom was like, no, you're not going to do it. I was like, I'm a big fan of your son. Like, I love the story. And she's like, you're going to make me cry. And like,
wow.
And the mom was there, and they both broke into tears.
Oh, that's so nice.
Another lady there saw the moment, was like, let me take a picture of you guys. We're right at the 50-yard line, like the entrance, took a picture of all of us. She's like, I need those pictures. Grabs my phone, texts Quantez from my phone the pictures, and texts her the pictures from my phone. And then he responds, he's like, hey, like to her phone. I was like, this is a surreal moment. And it's his first game. Like it was surreal for them. But yeah, she was in tears walking in, and she was like, I told him I'd be there on Tuesday and I'll bring the jersey. I'm going to try to meet him at a training camp practice. But it was cool to have this, like this, who you said last call, like he might have a different jersey number, but it was like grandma had the jersey and I was one of the only people in the arena with a Quantez Stiggers jersey.
That is an amazing story. You got to be maybe the only Jet fan that actually owns a Quantez Stiggers jersey besides his family. Like, think about that.
I don't know any other 37s in Jets history, so I say
that's great.
Keep 37, get it in the rafters, Quantez. I'm a big fan.
Nate, Nate, what a call. Quantez Stiggers. Ladies and gentlemen, last night in our Discord chat, he threatened to crack Gator McCluskey's skull. Charles Eugene M. Gorman joins us. Hello, Charles.
He was trying to be a smartass and wishing harm on other opposing teams' players. How about I wish for your skull to get fractured? And he was like,
Gator just wrote in, Charles wants to murder me. So to be clear, you don't want to crack his skull.
I don't want to murder you, Gator. Granted, you could be a smartass sometimes, but you're too much of a national treasure.
Who would want a picture with you besides someone who knows you from my show, your show, or Nick Shine's show?
That's a good question.
What if Gator was there? Would you take a picture with him? Because you did threaten to kill him in the Discord the other night.
I didn't threaten to kill him. People are taking those words out of context. He was praying for every player and every other team to get anal warts. And I said, what if I pray for you to get your skull fractured?
Yeah, what did you say?
I'll share my screen with you.
Make sure you delete your history first, Charles.
Oh, stop it. Gator says if he's not a Jet, he sucks. But I can't help it, Charles. I put my head on my pillow all night. They're wishing anal warts on all non-Jets players and fans. And then I said, how about I wish for you to get your skull fractured?
But it does sound like there was some intent there, no?
Intent? What do you mean by intent?
Like there's some intent, you know?
I don't want to hurt Gator, and I don't really wish harm on the guy.
You said you don't really, though. I mean, that's not going to be helpful.
Look how smart this dude is.
Why don't we just apologize to Gator, and we'll let bygones be bygones?
Where's Gator?
No, he's in the chat. He wrote, I'm so threatened. Damn.
I'm going to kiss you and make up with you?
Yeah, there's no kissing on this show. It's who do you think you are here?
First of all, I'm joking.
Just like you were joking about fracturing Gator's skull, huh?
I was upset that Gator said that if they're not a Jet, they suck.
I see where Gator's coming from with that take.
What?
They're not a Jet, they're garbage.
So you think Adrian Peterson of the Vikings was a terrible football player?
He wasn't a Jet.
He's a future Hall of Famer.
What do you do for the Jets?
That's my opinion.
Charles embracing the gangster rapper persona, Gator. Stay safe, brother. Thoughts and prayers.
I'm not a killer. I'm not a psychopath like people claim that I am.
All right.
I have a bad temper, but I'm not a psycho.
Charles, thank you for the time. Farewell. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles Eugene M. Gorman. That was tremendous.